My husband thought I was too weak to leave him, too scared to fight back. He controlled every dollar, every decision, every piece of my life. But what he didn't know was that, for an entire year, I was planning a quiet revenge that would flip his perfect world upside down. Hi, I'm Emily, and today, I'm telling you the story of how my husband spent years manipulating me, controlling every part of my life, until the day I decided to take everything back quietly, strategically, and in a way he never saw coming. This is the story of my silent revenge. I met Daniel when I was 22. He was charming, mature, financially stable, and he made me feel safe at least. That's what I thought. For the first year, he treated me like a queen. Flowers, dinners, long drives, promises of a beautiful life. But once we got married, that version of him disappeared, and the real Daniel showed up. He wasn't physically abusive. He was worse. He was controlling in ways that took years for me to recognize. 3 months into the marriage, he convinced me, let's combine our accounts. It'll make things easier. Naively, I agreed. I didn't realize that he meant, I will control every dollar you earn. He slowly took over all our finances. My paycheck went into a joint account. He kept the password. He gave me an allowance, like I was a child. When I needed something, even basics, I had to ask, can I buy this? Is this okay? Do we have money for that? He always responded with, you're terrible with money. Let me handle it. Meanwhile, he bought himself expensive gadgets, watches, and trips for work. He criticized my clothes. He complained about my cooking. He rolled his eyes when I talked about work. But the worst part, he kept saying, you'd be nothing without me. It broke me slowly. My friends noticed I had changed. I barely smiled. I barely laughed. I barely existed. But I stayed because I didn't have the money to leave. Every financial door was locked, and he held the only key. Or so he thought. One night, I overheard him talking to someone on the phone. His voice was low, irritated. She's not going anywhere. She can't. She's stuck. She doesn't even have access to her own money. My heart dropped. He knew exactly what he had done to me, and he was proud of it. He ended the call and said to himself, she's lucky I keep her. Lucky. That's when something inside me snapped. For the first time in years, I felt something, not fear, not sadness, not helplessness. I felt determination. I decided that I wasn't going to run blindly. I was going to plan. I was going to be quiet, and I was going to take back everything he stole. This wasn't just an escape. This was revenge. I spent 1 full year preparing to leave him. 1 quiet, strategic, carefully planned year. 1, I got a secret job. I told him I was working part-time only. But I quietly applied for a second remote job under a different email. I earned extra income, all of it paid into a hidden account he didn't know existed. 2, I opened a new bank account. I asked my coworker for advice, used her address temporarily, and created an account in my name only. Every month, I transferred small amounts of money to it, amounts small enough that Daniel wouldn't notice. 3, I printed every financial statement for months. I collected evidence, receipts, screenshots, bank statements showing he used my income for his luxuries. I documented everything. 4, I consulted a lawyer secretly. A coworker recommended a women's legal support group. They explained my rights. They told me how to protect myself. They helped me build a plan. 5, I found a place to live. I saved enough for 6 months of rent in advance. A small apartment, nothing fancy, but it was mine. 6, I waited for the perfect moment. I didn't want to leave when he was calm. I wanted to leave when the law was on my side, and that moment came sooner than expected. One afternoon, I found an email on our shared laptop. It wasn't open just a notification. It was from a woman. She wrote, last night was amazing. When can I see you again? My stomach twisted, but not from heartbreak, from opportunity. I clicked on his inbox. There were dozens of messages, photos, reservations, hotel bookings. He had been with her for almost a year. The same year, I was secretly planning to leave. God has a strange way of timing things. I didn't cry. I didn't confront him. I didn't scream. I simply smiled. Because cheating changed the legal situation completely. And now, the law stood firmly by my side. That night, he came home like nothing happened. I made him dinner. I spoke softly. I acted normal. But inside, I was exploding with power. The next morning, while he was at work, I packed my essentials. I took my files, my hidden savings, the evidence, I left my wedding ring on the kitchen table, and I walked out. I blocked him everywhere. Later that week, I served him divorce papers, sent straight to his office, right in front of his colleagues. He called me 27 times that day. I didn't answer. He messaged, "You can't survive without me." I laughed, because he had no idea that I already had a new apartment, 2 jobs, and a year's worth of documented abuse and financial control. His family found out. His boss found out. His girlfriend found out. His perfect life collapsed, piece by piece, exactly the way he tried to collapse mine. The court ruled in my favor. He had to pay spousal support. He had to return the money he controlled. He lost the promotion he was chasing because his personal scandal became office gossip. Meanwhile, I rebuilt my life. I decorated my apartment. I made new friends. I rediscovered the version of myself he tried to erase. People say revenge doesn't fix anything, but sometimes it restores what was stolen. My revenge wasn't loud. I didn't break anything. I didn't scream. I didn't ruin his belongings. I simply took back control, quietly, intelligently, completely, and I left him with the one thing he never expected: a life without me. If you're in a controlling relationship, please listen. You are not trapped. You are not weak. You are not alone. Your silence can be your strength. Your planning can be your power. And one day, your freedom can be your revenge. Thank you for listening.